Hello everyone, welcome back to Believers CS Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion session. In this session, we'll be discussing a very important topic, that is Los Angeles wildfires. Okay, you might have heard about this news in most of the newspapers. It has been covered very intensively. So we will see what happened behind Los Angeles wildfires, what are the reasons and why Los Angeles fires happened. Okay, first, the reasons behind LA fires or Los Angeles fires is there are natural as well as anthropogenic factors. Natural factors are mainly hydroclimatic whiplash. Hydroclimatic whiplash. What is hydroclimatic whiplash? It is alternating wet and dry periods fueled vegetation growth, which turned into dry fuel during the droughts. Okay, this word is very important. Alternating wet and dry periods. Okay, it results in the fueled vegetation growth. Okay, that vegetation acts as a fuel for wildfires. Okay, then the sudden dry conditions created the perfect environment for wildfires. Whenever there is dry conditions, then there is moisture content is very less. When the moisture content is very less, then it is easier for the fire to spread across. Okay, then another reason is Santa Ana winds. What is Santa Ana winds? Hot, dry winds accelerated the spread of fire by drying vegetation and carrying embers over large distances. Okay, this wind, it flies across the Los Angeles region, okay, California state of USA. This is a hot and dry wind which accelerated the spread of fire, okay, because it dried the vegetation and reduced the moisture content there. And finally, natural is high temperatures. Okay, 2024 recorded a record-breaking heat waves, increased the evaporation and dried out vegetation. Okay, these are the natural reasons behind the Los Angeles fires. And then there are few anthropogenic reasons as well, or human-made reasons. Anthropogenic where, okay, campfires. It is believed that Los Angeles fires was a result of campfire. Okay, one of the reasons for Los Angeles fires is a campfire or cigarettes. Okay, not completed dried out cigarettes, they have also been used as reasons behind Los Angeles fires. The investigation is still going on. Once the investigation is done, we'll discuss the actual reason behind Los Angeles fires. There may be any reason behind the Los Angeles fires, but these are the natural reasons which resulted in the widespread fires. Okay, then we'll discuss about hydroclimatic whiplash. Okay, we discussed that hydroclimatic whiplash is alternating dry and wet periods of climate. Okay, dry and wet periods which will result in a vegetation which is very dry in nature and which acts as a fuel for wildfires. Okay, in the recent years, that is from 2000 to 2020, there have been many instances where hydroclimatic whiplash has resulted in widespread loss of life as well as environment and forest. Okay, examples include in the Pacific Southwest, that is the California region or the Los Angeles region. During October 2022 to 2023, dry to wet, the impact were wildfire, flooding and landslide. Okay, during the dry period it was wildfire, and during the wet period it was flooding, and during the middle period it was landslide. Okay, in the Central America, from November 2019 to November 2020, it converted into dry to wet. The impact was flooding, landslides, crop loss, human displacement, etc. etc. Similarly, in the North Central USA, January 2020 to January 2021, impact was flooding, crop loss, hydropower loss, wildfire. And in the Europe, northern and central Europe, flooding, extreme heat, crop loss. And in the western Africa, flooding, human displacement, disease outbreak, etc. And in the southern Chile and Argentina, wildfire, fire, flooding, and landslide. Okay, so the hydroclimatic whiplash has a negative connotations, in the sense it will lead to wildfire as well as flooding. Okay, so two are the extreme opposites of a single pole, you can say. Okay, then in East Africa also there are similar thing: crop and livestock loss, food shortages, flooding. And in Iran, Pakistan, Eastern Arabia, during May 2022, August 2022, it was a dry to wet period climate change, which resulted in flooding, landslides, infrastructure damage. Okay, so all these regions where there are yellow in color, it was wet to dry, which resulted in wildfire. All these green in color are from dry to wet, which initially resulted in flooding and then later resulted in wildfires. Okay, so what is actually hydroclimatic whiplash? Climatic whiplash refers to the rapid and extreme shifts between intensely wet weather characterized by heavy rainfall and floods, then dangerously dry conditions leading to droughts and wildfires. Okay, one is intense wet conditions, which was experienced by Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan during 2022 and 2023, which resulted in flooding. Okay, and then there is dangerously dry conditions leading to droughts and wildfires, which we are witnessing in Los Angeles. Okay, so very important topic. It can be asked in UPSC mains, and there can be questions on it even in the coming interview also. Then the characteristics are, as I discussed, there is a alternating extremes, that is cycles of heavy rainfall followed by prolonged drought, then amplified weather events, that is floods during the wet periods, wildfires and water shortage during the dry phases. That is extremely opposite of a single pole. Okay, here if it is flooding during the wet period, here it is drought during the dry period. Okay, extremely opposite events there. Then global trend is increased frequency, that is hydroclimatic whiplash events have risen 31 to 66% globally since the mid 20th century, primarily due to climatic change. Okay, because of climate change and global warming, hydroclimatic whiplash have increased by 31% to 66%. Okay, then future projections, that is with a 3 degrees Celsius rise in the global temperature, the frequency of such events is expected to double, that is 113% during the sub-seasonal whiplash. Okay, from 66 to, there is a chances of increase to 113% if the temperature rises by 3%. Okay, then there will be more events of dry period leading to droughts and wildfires, and wet periods leading to flooding. Okay, which will obviously have implications on crop, economy, and the lifestyle of individuals, human beings. Then causes for hydroclimatic whiplash or climate change, that is warmer air holds more moisture, intensifying rainfall during the wet periods. Higher evaporation rates exacerbate the droughts. Okay, then El Nino Southern Oscillation, that is ENSO, that is changes in the ENSO cycles influence temperature and precipitation extremes. Okay, then ocean and atmospheric dynamics, that is disruptions in ocean currents and wind patterns disturb the normal weather cycles. Okay, and then the seasonal delays, that is extended dry or wet period or wet seasons amplify hydroclimatic variability as seen in California. Okay, so these are all the reasons behind hydroclimatic whiplash. Very important. I keep repeating, it is very important because it has been news for a long period of time. The question is due in UPSC mains, prelims as well as interview. Okay, then impacts. Okay, as we can see, it will have environmental impacts, that is wet periods promote vegetation growth, which becomes fuel for wildfires during the dry periods. Okay, the vegetation which was grown during the wet period acts as a fuel during the dry period. That is what is happening in California now or Los Angeles now. Then intense rainfall leads to flash floods, soil erosion and damage to ecosystem. Then agriculture, that is alternating floods and droughts damage crops, reducing yields and increasing food insecurity. Then for infrastructure, roads, dams and buildings face significant damage from floods and wildfires, incurring high repair costs. That is what we are seeing in LA. More than 2 million houses have been burnt, more than many billions has been the loss or repair cost. Health, floods will spread waterborne diseases, droughts will increase the risk of heat related illnesses. Okay, heat stroke, etc., etc. So this is about hydroclimatic whiplash and the reasons behind Los Angeles wildfires. Do make note of these important points: hydroclimatic whiplash, Santa Ana wind and anthropogenic reasons, as well as what is hydroclimatic whiplash, and also have certain examples from various parts of the world, such as Central America, Pakistan, Arabia region, etc., etc. Okay, so this concludes our discussion for the day. If you like the video, please hit the like button, comment on the video and share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.